Hello, welcome everyone. And now at this time, we would like to kick off the session on green careers from a youth perspective. Now in this session, in a panel discussion format, we're going to invite 4 youth leaders from diverse backgrounds to share with us some of their formative experiences, as well as their vision for how they want to shape their careers over the next decade. Now, please be aware that this session will be held only in English and Japanese translation will not be available. But with that said, let me go ahead and turn it over to our moderator for this session, Ms. Hanami Itagaki. Welcome, Ms. Itagaki, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for coming in. We want to welcome our speakers today, so give them a big applause. Welcome. Please sit and make yourself comfortable. So now, let us begin our session. And as is shown, our topic today is the green careers from a youth perspective. And I'm a moderator for today's conversation, and we have a talented minds today as speakers today who pursue green careers as a young people. And before going to our introduction of ourselves, let me give the introduction of myself as a moderator. So I'm Hanami Itagaki, and I'm a Global Shapers community member at the Yokohama Hub. And as for my occupation, I'm a graphic designer, and I run my own design studio for concept design and UX design. And I also go to junior high schools and even companies for education of visual communication and visual strategy. And on the side, I'm a board member of a collective called Verde, which means green in Spanish and Italian. That is a collective of creatives who pursue the aesthetics of plants and nature in the view of artists and design. Yes. So moving on, I want to let speakers introduce themselves. Maybe Shuhei, can you start?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Shuhei Kanke. I'm currently working Laba Inc., which is a startup company tackling with social issue with like government and big company or like local government. I enrolled in Waseda University 2018, and I belong to ISEC, which is a global young organization, 4 years. And I'm learning global internship and volunteering. When I was 4th grade, I was a president of this organization as of like Japanese chapter. Then from the perspective of Yokohama and Green, I participated in Green Innovator Academy second generation last year, which is a program that educates young people to become like innovator to achieve the carbon neutral in 2050. Yeah, and I graduated this March, Waseda University, and I'm starting working on April. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. And right next to him, we have Yui, who is also the Waseda University student. Can you give yourself an introduction?
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm Yui also from Waseda University. I'm in the 2nd year student, and then I'm from the School of International Liberal Arts. I also took part in Green Innovator Academy last year, like Shuhei did, and this is where we created a policy proposal to Yokohama City, and that's what brought me here today, and so grateful for this opportunity. And I was born and raised in Tokyo, and I took Japanese education up until middle school, and then during my high school years, I studied in Canada, Vancouver for 1 year, and later I transferred to international high school in Japan called UWC Isaac Japan. And right now I do volunteer at NPO called ASAP, and also other than that, I'm a part of Japanese calligraphy performance circle, and I also love to dance. Thank you.
Thank you. So right next to Yui, we have Kenmaru, who is also the Global Shapers Community member at the Yokohama Hub.
So, hi everyone. So, I'm Kenmaru from Global Shaper Community Yokohama Hub. I'm currently working at a IT company as a data scientist to support mainly Japanese enterprises at the automobiles, the manufacturing industries who wants to promote the digital transformations, but also the green transformations. There is a lot of the companies who want to increase their productivities, but also the sustainabilities. And I believe that one of the important factors to promote this climate change and the green transformations is how we can use the advanced technologies in our societies. And meanwhile, in the Global Shaper community, I'm currently managing the project called the Rising Sun Green Makers, which is a project that promotes the next generations of the climate entrepreneurs. So we recently hosted the online sessions that helps international students who are interested in the climate change, but on how to clear their professional careers within the climate change. Thank you.
Nice, thank you. And right next to it, we have Yui, who's an entrepreneur. Can you give yourself an introduction?
Hi, my name is Mayu. Nice to meet you all. Thank you for having me. I am founder of Myaku Inc., which is I just started my startup a couple months ago, and my booth is over there. If you have time, please take a look. And yeah, we have a lifestyle brand, which all of the products are made of Japanese wood. And right now, we are making a hinoki candle made in Kiso, Nagano. Next slide. Yeah. This is the reason why I started my startup related to the forests of Japan social issues. These are the numbers related to the forest. Actually, most of them don't really know about forests of Japan, but actually we have 70% of the land is the forest here. So we are the world number 2 country that has the high forest rate. And then, but the self-sufficiency rate of wood is only 40%, which is 60% of the woods are from overseas. And the biggest issue that I am facing, we are trying to solve, is the reforestation rate of Japan is only 30% right now, which means every year, 70% of the lands are we cut the trees, but we don't replant, which happens so many risks to our land, our forest, our nature. So that's something we are trying to solve by our brand. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your introduction. And our first theme that we're going to be talking about today is going to be a little deeper version of the introduction maybe, but it's about the stories and raw experiences of what made you who you are today, who is pursuing the green career, and yeah, what made you who you are, who is aware of the environmental problems, and the person who take actions. So maybe, Shuhei, can you start?
Yep. Yes. Now I'm showing 2 pictures of my turning point. The left one is Tohoku earthquake and tsunami in 2011. So actually, my grandmother was living in Fukushima prefecture at that time, and it's a bit far from nuclear power plant. But she was so stressed after this incident because she was forced to change her lifestyle. For example, my cousins lived with grandmother at that time, but my cousins went out of the Fukushima prefecture. And after 6 months, this incident, she has a cancer, and she died 2 years after this incident. From this experience, I came to have interest in environmental issues. And then right one is COVID-19 pandemic. So I was president of ISEC Waseda University local chapter when pandemic was started, and actually I had to try maintain my organization as a like finance or like people perspective. Then I went to the like many alumni and many company to donate to my organization. Then our organization could survive this pandemic, but to see the like many NGO, NPO, or like student circle to solving social issue or like to tackling with environmental issue, some organization went bankrupt or they cannot continue their activities. So yeah, from this like that situation, I realized that like we need like kind of ecosystem to support our like social good or environmental good activity or like business or their activity or business. Yes, that's my turning point.
Thank you for sharing. It's surprising and then amazing that you are thinking in a very big scale as an individual, as a young person. So the something like uncontrollable events like pandemic or tsunami is some kind of inspiration for you to take action, if that's right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I think Yui can share your thoughts as well.
Yeah, thank you. So my turning point was right after I transferred to the high school called UWC Isaac Japan. So right after I transferred, I took part in this one movie screening event hosted by one teacher, and then there for the first time I saw the reality of unethical business practices, especially in the fishing industry, and it was so eye-opening to me, and that led me to gradually shift my diet into vegetarian. And then later I started to make friends who are also like vegan or pescatarians, and they're also passionate about sustainability. So we gathered to create this club called Sustainable School Initiative Club. And then because we wanted to make our high school more sustainable. And this experience was so significant because before, when I was in Japanese school, I didn't know that I can be a part of change as well. So here I made such a cool friends who are really passionate about making positive changes, especially in sustainability. And this is where I learned that I can also take actions when I see that there's a need to change. So this was definitely a turning point. And next slide, please. And last year, I took part in this program called Green Innovator Academy. And this, after participating in this, it was my first time to properly learn green innovation as well as carbon neutrality. And then here, we built a proposal to Yokohama City, and this was during my high school. My perspective was more towards global side, and it was my first time to really focus on the local scale problems. And then so by joining this program, I could gain both micro and macro perspective. So that was really significant. Yeah, that's it for me.
Wow. You're being so active from very young age. Do you think you had the curiosity from the very young age?
Yeah, I think I was quite curious kid since I was young, but I was just curious, and I didn't wasn't specifically interested in sustainability or any areas of topics. So that was just the opportunity that came to be part of the club that gradually led me to gain more knowledge in sustainability and also these like experiences.
So the knowledge and other people around you kind of made you realize that you had a curiosity from the young mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I think we can move on to Kenmaru's thoughts and your experiences and stories behind.
Yeah. So can you go to my slide as well? Yeah. So
Aw.
I only have one photo here, which is me at 5 years old. And because I think most of the people here probably have a computer and smartphone. And but back in 20s, when I was at 5 years old, so I was always looking at my brothers who was playing playing with the computer, and I was always waiting for him to play the Tetris, which was one of the favorite games I used to play back in like 5 years old. And nowadays, everyone probably have a smartphones. And I actually look at the internet, and it says that more than 90% of the Japanese people do have at least the computers and the smartphones. So it is obvious that we are now able to access on the internet to look on the new information. Even you don't even have to go outside of Japan and then learn something. And imagine about we have the computers and the smartphones on a daily basis. And when it comes to the climate change for the natural environment, I'm very thankful to Japan that we have amazing seasons, especially now. There's such a nice autumns that we can have amazing natural forest that we can enjoy anywhere in Japan. During the winter seasons, I think a lot of people, including myself, I enjoy the onsen, the hot springs, while looking at the snows. This is something obvious to many of the Japanese people here. But when you closely look at the outside of Japan, there's so many countries who cannot attain that amazing natural environment. And this is something we might gonna lose in next 50 or 100 years later. So one of the things I want to share here is that something that you have on a daily basis might not be something that the future generations cannot attain. So this is why I'm trying to helping the entrepreneurs who can use the technologies into their societies so that we can continuously maintain our society sustainable.
Very nice. Thank you. Did you have, sorry, I wanted to keep on asking question. Did you have like anyone who's specific who inspired you to be that way? Or did you have any resources or organization you looked up to for like that type of main thought that was happening in your mind?
Maybe it just comes to, maybe my father, because he's also a local entrepreneur back in Chile. By the way, I was actually born and grew up in Chile for 18, 19 years, and I moved to Japan. And then my father was one who didn't even know how to speak Spanish back in like 20 to 23 years old.
Okay.
But because he participated in one of the JICA's program, 海外青年協力隊, and so he was one of the persons who was helping the people in Bolivia how to cultivate the agricultures and the fisheries. And he eventually started his own startup recently. Even he was at the age of like 50s now. So whenever you have a passion to work on something that you can believe in yourself, you can do anytime you want, no matter whether you're youth or not. You can do things that you want to do for your future.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you for sharing. That makes sense. Now you have the curious mind and the continuously curious mind. Thank you. And next to him, can Mayu share your experiences too?
Yes, these are the time that made me who I am today. And the left one is while I was in Gaza area or working on educational programs at overseas NGOs. When I was a university student, I was studying international relations and also facing the social issues, global issues, which I was interested in. But when I was there are so many things and so many problems are happening at that place. But the business is so far away from what's happening on this global issues. So I was thinking, like, working on NGO is very important and very like specifically supporting the people who wants to who has the needs to be helped.
Yeah.
But once I started working at ANA or Recruit or big Japanese companies, like that big company is supposed to solve the problems, but the problem itself is super far away from the business. So that's why I got interested in social issues, social business startup. Then during COVID time, I went back to my hometown Kyoto, and then I saw my grandfather, who was a forester, and then that was also the timing that I felt the same way. He used to dedicate to the village and then forest so many years for a long time.
Yeah.
But still the village has so many problems, and the forests have many difficulties to keep the business sustainability. So I felt maybe working at a big company is very knowledgeable to me, and then very important opportunity for me. But maybe I need to switch my career into this field as a business startup. That's why I'm having my business right now. Yeah.
So you saw business as the tool or like the opportunity to make the situation even better.
Yes. So the business is always kind of like a circle of the people who wants to buy or make something, but the issues are very far from the business. So I want to make those issues into the field, into the business, and then make the problem solved.
Make it into a sustainable circle.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yes,
Nice.
exactly.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, everyone. And I can see that you had like the seed of the curiosity from your very young age and kind of grew into the action that you're taking right now by interacting with other environment that you had around you. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think I would like to move on to the second question, where we have the discussion question now here. That's about what is your current action for the future in 10 years that you see for yourself and society? And what do you expect Japan as a country to offer in those 10 years? And what are the actions you're planning on taking according to it? And if Shuhei, sorry for pointing out at the very first of the discussion every time, but can you start, Shuhei?
Yeah. Okay. For 10 years from now, I hope more people and more companies are trying to make the world a better place and more sustainable place as their job or their business. And especially, I hope like more young people can challenge what they want to solve and what they want to create for the like more future generation. And currently, I said like I am working at the startup company, and actually I'm in charge of the project of impact investment. So impact investment is like investment made with intention to generate positive and measurable social and environmental impact alongside the financial returns. Yeah. And actually I'm doing like meeting with like how to say investment relations part of people like company people or like board members, like how their business can solve the social issues or like environmental issue, and also like how like can their impact make bigger or like make deeply. And I sometimes visit like their factory or their company. So this is a picture of example. So our fund invests like kind of aluminum manufacturing company. So like aluminum is like, how to say, like, a plastic bottle is that, like, many people think like plastic bottle can recycle, but like that recycle is not like 100% recycle, which is like thermal recycle. And during the process of recycle, they emit the many CO2. But for aluminum bottles, they can like recycle material to material, like which means like we can use the aluminum bottle can use like after using.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like I am like visualizing that kind of impact and the company's activity for now, and for 10 years, I want to like continue this kind of job, like invest for the company who are like solving social issue and environmental issues, and I want to encourage more people to like invest that kind of company. Yeah, because like that company needs like more resource,
Yeah.
like money or people, or also like the society attention.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it works. Yes.
Yes, that's.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You're approaching the vision in a way that you are financially supporting them, and then thinking of the way that they can get more resources and attention. And I want to come back to you and you guys also for like another question of how adults and other companies who have resources to collaborate with you. But moving on, I think I want to ask question to Yui for your thoughts and view on this.
Thank you. So, for me, I think that this topic of sustainability can come with any area, such as like sustainability with manufacturing or like retails or food. And for me, my interest was towards finance and auditing or like accounting. So like recently I started to study for CPA, and I think that 10 years later from now, I'm hoping to make that as my expertise to build my green career on top of that. And because I felt the importance of having some sort of profession in order to contribute to something greater. And also through working on a couple of projects in the past few years, I learned that to pursue sustainability, it always costs money.
Yeah.
And I thought that pursuing sustainability costs money, and it should be measured in number always. So if I could understand like corporate strategy in private firms and also its impact on financials, then I thought that maybe I can build like effective measures in business to promote sustainability. That's my plan.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think we can move on to Kenmaru's view.
Yes, so can you go to my screen
Yes.
as well? So as I... Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes. So I've been helping a international student who are interested in the climate change and don't know how to clear the professional careers. The reason why I've been doing that is that a lot of people who are interested in the climate change or the environmental issues, even including myself, and I wasn't able to find what kind of the futures that I can make by myself when I was at the undergrad. And I think most of the students here probably have a similar feeling like now. And for the on the other hand, the people who's working at the Yokohama here, the many of the people who's already working at the company, for instance, they have amazing solutions. They have amazing technologies.
Yeah.
And I've been working with a lot of the companies who has amazing technologies, but they don't know how to apply these solutions into the problems. That's what young people are thinking right now. So maybe in Japan, in the next few years or next 10 to 20 years, I really want to increase the awareness of how we can combine between technologies, the societies, and the environment to promote our harmony of that, what we are really taking care in Japan.
Very nice. Like connecting the generation to generation to make things happen. And I think the common thing can be said for Mayu's point of view too. And if you can share your thoughts on it, it would be nice.
Thank you. So for next 10 years, I'm dedicating to my business, what is related to the forests of Japan. Most of the foresters in Japan, their average age is over 60, which means in 10 years they will be over 70. So it's quite difficult to keep the forest sustainable, and also the forest itself has to be supported by not only the forests but also the cities and then locals and the users. We are here now. So we try to make the products as much as possible, and then let the value of the wood share with everyone, and then sell the products overseas or in Japan, so that the people get awareness of the forests of Japan, what's happening, and then what kind of things we can do to solve the problems or cherish this wood value with all of you. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Thank you. And I think this is like the additional question for all of you, if you guys any have opinions on it. We are young minds and we have like new ideas and we have passion and we have energy. But how do you expect for adults around you or like the other big companies around you to collaborate with you guys? And what type of minds are you looking for in adults? If you guys have any opinions, you can start sharing.
Yes,
Yeah.
can I? So as startup, we have so many things we want to do with passion, but we have less knowledge comparing to big companies or adults. So we want to really collaborate with everyone who have some resources or have skills or business knowledges, so that we have passion. We don't really have that much business skills, but by collaborating with them, we can make the things solve the problems in a better way, or they grow the business more than I expect. So yeah, if you're interested in anything about my business, please come visit me and then talk to me, and let's share this passion to everyone. Thank you.
Yes, I think the open conversation is everything for the start.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, thank you. Does anyone else want to share your thought? Kemaru?
Yes. So this year, actually, I've been to so many different countries. So I actually counted by myself, like before this event started. So I went to 7 countries in total, and even in Japan.
Hi.
It was so nice for me to see how
Nice.
the local people are trying to solve their local issues, and which is actually also connected to the organizations that I belong to, the Global Shaper community. The reason I was actually in the 7 different countries in a different continent was because I really wanted to hear how the other young active shapers are think of the global issues, including the climate change and our futures. And a lot of the issues that they're facing on is for example, the water management, the energy management, the refugees, the things that maybe some of the Japanese people here are not familiar with, because we are living in such safe countries. And I'm very proud of being in Japan. And thanks to Japan, that we have lots of opportunity that we can access on these resources. But on the other hand, there are so many countries, so many shapers are looking for the solutions that who want to hear the stories of Japan. So I'm really looking forward if there's any companies or the people who want to share your stories to outside of Japan. We are very looking forward to collaborate with them.
Yeah, you're a very good example of like shared resources matter a lot. That like the sharing the conversation, sharing the people, sharing the connection is going to be the lead of any start for the project and everything. Nice. Does anyone? Yeah, sure is.
Okay. I want people to change their mind, which is
Yeah.
like solving social issue cannot get money. Like 社会貢献は儲からない。
Oh.
Yeah. Because like business essence is solving people's issue.
Yes.
And after high-speed economic growth, like generation, like only issue that like difficult to solve is remaining right now. So like in other words, like solving those kind of like difficult issue can get money after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or like after future. So yeah, I want people to have like such kind of mind.
Yes,
for the future.
the mindset change is everything. Yes. Now we have, as the speakers, that we are like the conscious minds, I think. But I think we should think of the educating even younger minds of generations, maybe starting from us, maybe starting from other adults around them. So yeah, it's very important to think of the change in mindset first, before any other actions. Thank you. Maybe you can finish our conversation.
Yeah, thank you. So, I also agree to all of you guys' opinions. And on top of that, this message might be too strong, but I really want adults to support youth or like young people because, including myself when I was in high school, we were really passionate and we all are, not all, but like increasing number of students are aware of social issues or like environmental problems, and we want to do something, but just with our passions, we cannot really achieve something great. And then many of the time, we need a lot of resources, both like financials and also in knowledge-wise, we really need a lot of adult support. And then maybe if you could go back to the slides of like when I was in high school, during the high school years, like when I was working on the club, Sustainable Initiative Club, we could thankfully got the support from the Earth Company and so many different adults. And thanks to that, we could achieve so many things, including those, maybe one more previous slide. Including we've applied to Zayat Sustainability Prize, and we could become like the winner of the prize. That's how we could manage to get the budgets to really get the project going. So I feel like, yeah, it requires a lot of resources, and I feel like it's so difficult for youth to reach out to adults, and then we don't know, many of the time we don't even know where to start with. So I feel like if those like private companies or government or even any adults who have knowledge or skills to help us, then that'll be really great. So yeah, that's my message.
Yes, that's a great message. And this, maybe like this interaction itself or like this discussion that's having in front of everyone is one of those connections that we can have. And I think this in itself is like amazing discussion. And I personally could look forward to our future a little brighter than before, knowing that those like the conscious minds are leading our society from now on. And I hope like this conversation became some type of opportunity for the other young minds to think of their own green careers and some other adults to think of the form of collaboration that you could ever have with those conscious minds. And we hopefully keep having those conversations continuously because the future is so much about the young people. It's all about us. Thank you so much for joining today to our conversation and discussion. This is the end of our session, so give big applause to everyone. Thank you so much.
So once again, a big thank you to all of our speakers joining us today. I think there was a lot of inspiring messages you had in there, and it's inspiring that from such a young age you're already looking forward to these problems, not just ignoring them, but actually adapting them and involving them in your future careers. So please again, join me once again in a final round of applause for all our speakers today.